Hey everybody, in this video, I'm going over the Kwumsy K2. This is a full, well not really, this is, what I don't know what size this, 75%. I don't know the number. Don't ask me. I'm not a keyboard aficionado. I just know what keyboards I like and what I want in a keyboard, and this is perfect. You have a percentage keyboard down here, just it's basically 10 keyless. And 10 keyless was with there are some keys that are I think, yeah, there's no function row, so keep that in mind. So it's almost like a mini keyboard, but you have your full set of navigation keys. And then on the top, you have a 1080p by 515p. Well, what is that resolution? 1080p by 515, 1920. Jesus Christ, say it right. 1920 by 515 p resolution. And that's actually a touchscreen, so you can actually interact with it, which is really nice. Instead of it just being a standard screen, you can also use it for things. So you can actually use it to open up files and folders and put windows down here for, like from when I have my KVM set to my work computer, I actually have my email over here, and then I have one of the mini chat clients I have to have, like either it's Teams or Mattermost or whatever client I have to use today to chat with people. But you'll have them. It's like really perfect just for that, because it frees up it's more useful back when I was using my my Apple monitors to do my work, because less resolution, more condensed. Usually I have like a full screen RDP session up to do work, and that usually means I can't see my emails or my chat messages. So it's actually more useful to have them down here. Now the problem is that when the new version of Teams came out, the new Microsoft Teams, which it's garbage because it has that new overly clunky giant design for no reason, or all this padding. But because of that, it meant that now they've increased like the minimum resolution required to use it. The height is like 600, so I literally have to take the window and snap it to the bottom corner, so that way the bottom of the message is here, but the top of the window is actually overflowing into the top of the monitor. And that's just because Microsoft makes garbage products, but that has nothing to do with the keyboard really. It just, you have some problem with some applications if you're trying to shove it down. Like Discord works fine, Microsoft Outlook works fine, things like that. But anyway, so these keys actually can come off, so we can actually, it's a mechanical key. You can pull the keys off. It uses the cherry style little stems, and then you can replace those with any. You can actually pull the key switches out and replace them with any ones you want. So like these are reds, and then my actual main keys, alphabetical keys, are actually orange. The pandas from. What's that company name? Glorious, yeah. So all my alphanumeric keys are the Panda by Glorious, and then you have the my shift key. I think it's just my shift and my space bar are all they're reds, whatever they call them. But yeah, they're linear ones, and then I leave the original ones. These come with the knockoff cherry blues, and those are like my regular keys, like these keys modifiers. These ones are also the Panda, and then my escape is also the Panda, just because it requires more force to push down. I like that. And you have the pause key. These are all blue. But I don't know why it has a pause key. It seems kind of silly, but I think more people preferred a print screen key, but the pause key is here for some reason in a weird place. But yeah, that's the only key that seems out of place, is the pause key. It's also why it's the only key that doesn't have a custom keycap, because just no one does the pause key. Specifically not the keycaps I bought. But like I said, a print screen key would be much more useful. The good thing, the other thing you may run into a problem is, like, I was just lucky enough that the keyboard keys that I bought were able to work with this weird design, because like you can see the print page down in the arrow key are not actually the same profile, and that's just because this profile is weird, where you have these keys are not usually put there, so it can cause some weird issues like that, but not a big deal. It works out perfectly fine. You just need to be careful when you're buying keycaps to make sure they're gonna match the profile of your keyboard. Anyway, in terms of connectivity, it's USB-C on the top, and that's USB-C. Also, there's a light here. I covered it with electrical tape because I don't want to see this stupid light all the time, because it will shine up here and I gotta see that. I don't want to see that. But anyway, it's USB-C. You can see Windows is going to flip out for a second, and look at my desktop. Oh my god. Anyway, USB-C, and it comes with a USB-C to C as well as a USB-C to HDMI with a USB 2.0 cable on it, and that's what I'm using right now because that one makes more sense because that actually goes into a HDMI switch down there, and then HDMI switch lets me switch what actually has this display because since I have this on a KVM switch, I need to be able to change where the input's going. And you also have two USB Type A ports up here. So this one up here is my mouse receiver. And then this one over here is just a USB Type C adapter to make it a Type C port. But these are 2.0, keep that in mind. This is not like 3.0 speed, which is not a big deal. I think the newer ones are like that. But I much prefer the boxy design of the K2. You know, they have a newer one that has a screen that's actually adjustable, which is probably one of the things I complain about because, as you can tell, you know, my lights are constantly shining down here. Maybe like a matte screen would probably be better, but I think a matte screen may make it substantially worse. I'm not a big fan of matte screens at times because sometimes I feel like it just can make the light issue even worse. But in this case, it would have benefited from a matte screen. But the newer ones, you can actually adjust it. But I don't like the design of the new ones. The new ones, I like this design, but keep this design and then make the screen rotate. I don't want the new overly gamery design that has a bunch of features I don't need. I don't need speakers on the keyboard. I don't need an M.2 slot. Unnecessary additions that are just like it just seems like it just seems like they just listen to the comments section and just like put everything they said, which I mean, none of the stuff they added is like in the way. I just don't like the design. The design, like I like this. This is a more, you know, business casual design. This looks nice. I like this. The other one, not too much. I think it's kind of ugly. I just don't like the new gamery design shit they did. So that's fine. Anyway, moving on. So another thing to keep in mind is that the default tilt options they provide are pretty mid. So we can actually put this down. And all they provide this little tiny bit of adjustment. And I think, now in my case, since I have this thing on the back, I actually really can't demonstrate it. But like this is imagine this, but this a little bit lower. So the profile, when it's popped up, looks fine because like if you were to take those and move them back here, it would make sense. It would make sense like a normal keyboard. But since this is a very tall keyboard, and those are so far back, it actually lowers the profile a lot more than it would make sense. They really should have provided much higher elevations, specifically because this is a keyboard that has a screen on it. I don't know why it has such little ability to rotate it higher up. But if we're to put those back, we got it like this. Now this is the escape flip stand. I think if we take a look at this, I do believe, yes, I did do that. So yeah, this actually comes with like these little like adhesive. I really would call them adhesive. It's they're like little pads that are also somewhat adhesive. It would stick better to things like these Apple keyboards where like they have a plastic back. This is metal and it's not going to stick to it as easily. So I actually use that 3M foam tape, the cool red kind. I use that, and that actually really gets us down. Because the other one would not stay put. So this one, doing that gets it to stay put. Putting it right around here is actually a really good place to put it because it keeps a nice, good elevation on it and provides a good amount of tilting. And usually I keep it at the highest setting. Can you put the highest setting? That's a really nice profile to type on. I like that. But now that I've moved my desk around, I've actually moved it down to this more lower position. And that one's perfectly fine. That's actually not that bad. Let me plug this back in. Like that. And then they will connect. You can see there's display booting up. Me pop this all the way to its highest position. And one fun fact, the monitor, it has this little menu, which is pretty cool. Very deep cut, but if you've ever worked on Waka, it's the same exact display controls, which is very interesting. I was like, either this is just some box standard, monitor control panel shit you can throw together, or it's made by the same manufacturer as the people who made that gigantic 50-inch arcade display. which is nothing more than a TV. Being honest, with you, just 50-inch TV really. But anyway, so yeah, you can by using the up and down, you can adjust the brightness, the backlight. Excuse me, that's not the brightness, the backlight. And then the menu you have just some basic controls, nothing much really, nothing you would fiddle with, to be honest with you. It does support DCC, so I come over here. It's got to refresh. Blech. It will anyway. You can we can pull up the settings real quick. But there is it is where, see, whenever I need to do something, it's never ready. There we go. Yeah, so we can actually pull this up, and you can see now we actually can adjust the brightness, and that's the max brightness it can provide. That goddamn refrigerator loud as hell. And that's about the maximum brightness you can push out of it. It gets pretty daggone bright. You definitely can overpower, lights and things like that. It's pretty good, But I usually keep it pretty low, just because it doesn't need to be that bright. So yeah, you can use your normal control software to control the brightness of this screen without a problem. And I don't really have too many issues though. Besides the default tilt is mid. It really could use a much higher tilt option, but like this is pretty much something they need to do for the next one. Like the three don't like it. Design's ugly. Who the fuck told you to restart over there? The design is ugly. I don't like the new one. The K3 black, gross. Don't like it. But what I do like is I like this design. This design's nice. Also, one little small annoyance: the touchscreen this display does not stay adhered to the body. This right now, it's kind of doing it now, but this the cable, I've been inside this. I know it looks like inside, but they never made a proper cutout for this display. So there's like always this hump here, and that is because that is the actual display controller and cable going under into the actual housing, and they never apparently designed that properly. So like it creates this hump that's always here. There's always this hump here, and the display will always unglue itself from these corners. It kind of pops up here, and I think it's even trying to pop up over here. And what you have to go over here, run your hand across to re-adhere it down all the time to get the glue to go back down. Honestly, when it pops up next time, and if I'm paying attention, I'll probably get some Loctite super glue and glue that fucking screen down, because it gets very annoying that it keeps constantly coming up off the damn display. When it does pop all the way out, is it a big deal? No, you probably won't even notice because you're probably not paying attention to that. But just something to note that it will do that. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. The silly issues outweigh all the outweigh its usefulness of having that screen. One other cool thing I also use that for like Blender. So when I'm using Blender actually or Photoshop, all the controls are down here. So when I need to do something, I can use the touchscreen to select what I need to do. So if I need to like move around the navigator, I can just move it around there, and it works out quite well. Actually, yeah, I can show an example. We can pull up Photoshop real quick, and we'll wait for whenever Photoshop decides to get up off its ass and open. Photoshop, geez Louise, you're slow. So in a minute, it will launch. Eventually. Jesus, you hurry up. The joys of Adobe Photoshop, garbage. But yeah, you can see means all my controls are down. So you have all my actions, my history, you have the layers, you have your info stuff, your histogram, and if you want to, I'm actually missing it, but you can add the navigator, and you have all your tools. But yeah, which it then means, let me switch this so all that stuff's not there. But yeah, when you do this, it actually means that it was much more useful on there, but now you can leave the whole window is now available for you to do stuff on, and yeah, which is pretty neat to have everything available to you, and just all the tools can be down here on the touchscreen, which makes more sense because you have the keyboard and you can move your hand up to touch stuff, especially when using things like Blender. Makes sense. But yeah, that's the really useful part about it. And then when it comes to the 10 key, I have a separate 10 key. I have the one from Glorious. The reason why it's over here is because I don't use it as a 10 key. It's used as a macro pad. So like, it's mainly used for games like Nikkei or for when I'm doing hello, or when I'm doing like review tasks on Sequenzia. That's where I do my key shortcuts. But yeah, this is more used as a macro pad than an actual 10 key, because no one really actually uses a 10 key unless you're sitting in Excel all goddamn day. What are you doing with the 10 key? What you mean if you use a macro pad. So yeah, this does fill the gap. And I know I'm not left-handed. That's why it said it's over here, because that's where you play. If you're playing games, you have it on your left, which make more sense since it's trying to replace these keys. But yeah, anyway, I'm getting off track, so that's it. That's all I'm going to say. It's a really good keyboard. I think you should, if you're looking for a keyboard, looking for a customizable keyboard, which this definitely is that, and you want, something new, this is probably the one to go, because a lot of the ones in the market, they're all boring. They're all just say, here's same tired keyboard design that you've seen before. And that every other keyboard YouTuber is going to be gushing over like as if it's the best thing since sliced bread. I'm like, it's just a fucking keyboard. Give me something new. And that's where this comes in. Very, very original. No little stupid tiny OLED. No, it's an actual full display. One other thing. No, it's not useful for Dex. Unfortunately, Dex is just kind of mid. Dex doesn't really understand how to use this properly. Dex will just look at you like you're stupid, because it'll just put in this little tiny window, because it doesn't understand these resolutions, and that's just how Dex is. Mac OS hates this. It works perfectly fine as long as you plug it into the machine directly. The problem you're going to run into is with like Mac OS and its touchscreen support. You have to move your mouse down here to use this as a touchscreen, and that's just how Mac is. Mac and touchscreens don't go together. They never seem to care about it. So this works great on Windows. Mac not so much. This just performs much better on Windows. And if you're buying this, you're probably buying it because you have a PC. So yeah. If you're asking about like polling rate and all this nonsense, if you get into that, then I don't know, go buy a different keyboard. That's I can't help you with that outrageously overly detailed analytical nonsense. It's a keyboard. It does its job. That's all I can say. I'm not here to give you that crazy analytical nonsense. So it does what it does, and it does it fine. So anyway, that's it, and I'll see you later. Bye.